All right, what up, everybody, and welcome back to another Thai Talk. Now, today I'm going to be talking about everybody's favorite trash show, Power. Now I know I be riding on Power. I be going on Power pretty hard, but today I want to talk about the final 5 episodes that we got of this show, leading up to the series finale that premiered today. Now, if you have not watched the finale, you should not be watching this video because I'm getting into all the spoilers. And really, I'm going to be talking about all 5 of the final episodes, which makes a little sense because they were all telling the story of the same day from different perspectives. So I'm going to be hitting on all 5 of them. And yeah, we have come to the end of 6 seasons of this Power storyline about Ghost, about Tasha, about Tommy. And I have to say, out of all the slack that I've given Power for the last couple of years, Power has been probably one of the most successful black shows on a premium network that you had to pay for. And I also think it's like Star's top TV show that they've had. So that says a lot about this show. But I'm going to get into it and let y'all know my thoughts about these 5 final episodes and how the series ended. Now, from the jump, I would have to say that these final 5 episodes, and even going back to the mid-season finale, right, where Ghost actually got shot, they have been, like, for them to have 6 consecutive good episodes has been a big change compared to what the show has been the last few years. So that was a welcome to see that they went out on a high note. And the finale, I just finished watching it, was actually really good, especially when you're coming off a time where series finales have been disappointing. And so I will give Power their props for coming out with some quality episodes here at the end, because I don't think the show had been consistently good since season 3. I think season 5 was the worst. I just felt like the storyline didn't move until episode 8, and even the beginning of season 6, I didn't feel like the storyline really moved till when Lakeisha got shot and stuff like that. So props to Power for, going out with a bang per se. So yeah, I know how I like to do things. I like to talk about stuff that I didn't particularly like first and then get into the stuff that I did like. And so even though I felt like these were some quality episodes at the end, there are a few things that I did not enjoy. And the number one was the suspects, the characters that they chose as the suspects for who shot Ghost. I think secondly, even though I was entertained by these episodes and the story that they was trying to tell here at the end, I didn't necessarily like all the decisions they made in executing that story. Particularly for me, I had a problem with some of the characters that they focused on. So again, back who they chose as the suspects, and also the order that these shows aired, telling these 5-6 sides of the same few days on the show, but from different character perspectives. So I am going to jump right in and first talk about these suspects. Now, the suspects at the end, at the mid-season finale, you were told that the suspects were Tate, Paz, Tasha, Tariq, Sats, Tommy, and Dre. I think those were like the 7 people that I don't even know if they pushed Tariq like that, which for me, he was the obvious choice from the beginning, just because what stuck out for me in that season finale episode was the story that Ghost told Tariq about Breeze, and kind of find out that's what it was. But that seemed the most fitting. And then from straight off the bat, I knew there were several people that it could not have been. I knew it wasn't going to be Sats. I knew it wasn't going to be Paz. And I knew it wasn't going to be Governor Tate, or Candidate Tate. Because first thing I just thought about is these characters aren't that important to the show for them to have such to be the one to take down the main character, the title character of this show. And so I knew it wasn't them. I just knew it wasn't Paz. I knew it wasn't Tate. I knew it wasn't Sans from the beginning. So that left for me Dre and the three T's, Tommy, Tasha, Tariq. That's who it left. Dre, I didn't think it was going to be because he was Houdini and just like always getting out of dying. I was just like, they're not going to give him killing Ghost, right? Tommy, he been trying to kill Ghost the whole season. He ain't did it. I don't think he was going to do it at the end. Tasha, maybe. I thought about it, but she killed Lakeisha. I was like, they ain't going to get her 2 kills like that in the season. And so then for me, that just left Tariq. And so it was interesting just watching how things unfolded, how they built to that point. Now, the other issue, or I say, so the thing that I thought about was how they laid these characters out, suspects, right? I really thought was, I liked the idea of having each episode focus on a particular character. I might not necessarily agree with all the decisions they made in each episode, but I appreciated that in the effect that focusing on each character did, because it lets you say bye to some of those characters. I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me is that Councilman Tate had his own episode and Paz got their own episode. I was like, you are 6 seasons within the show, and these are your final 5 episodes, and you choose to focus 2 of your 5 episodes on 2 really insignificant characters in this series. Now, Paz, I can give a little bit more leeway to, right? I like, you almost kind of conclude Angela's story by telling Paz's story, right? And so I kind of got that. I was like, I can live with that one. But the one that was the most shocking to me was Councilman Tate. And I guess in the end, I guess they did that because they thinking about this spinoff series focused on him. But it was like, this character has only been here since like maybe season 5. He might have showed up as a few episodes in season 4. He's not that important. And I think his whole motivation, which it was everybody's like starting point or not important to go after Ghost, was him being this lieutenant governor candidate, but it was Councilman Tate's whole motivation. And honestly, for me, that has been one of the weakest story points of the past 2 seasons, was this thing that they trying to force on us that Ghost has political capital. I do not buy that. It is not believable. And so for that to be Tate's whole motivation in this show, I just couldn't get with. And so honestly, for me, his episode was by far the weakest of this last 5. It was by far the weakest because, one, his beef with Ghost, I don't believe, because I don't believe Ghost has political capital. So that was that. Paz's story I can live with, and I think it kind of intertwined really well with Tommy's episode near the end. And you get the emotion of, you finally got the emotion of Angela being gone through Paz that they didn't necessarily was able to show as much through Ghost, because he just went straight into retaliation trying to kill Tommy for me. But yeah, that is my thought on the characters that they chose to focus on. And I'll say my biggest thing is, I think I did not like the order that they did it in. If I had to live with they did these characters, I wish they would have did it in a different order. And part of that is because I think some things happen that in the end I lost it. It kind of lost its impact, right? So Tate should not have been your penultimate episode, like your episode before your finale. I felt like that would have been much more meaningful had that been Tommy's episode, because from the jump, this show has been about Ghost and his boy Tommy and then his family. So had Tommy's episode been the one before the finale, I could have lived with that. I really could have lived with that. So I think the order for me should have went Tate, weakest episode, the episode where you that you saw the least of the other characters actually, and so it don't really give away nothing. Then I probably would have did pause, because in pause episode you didn't really get to see Dre, right? Then next I would have did Dre's episode third. It was probably, I don't know, it's tough to rank them, but that made Dre's episode was really good to me. I think it gave that character a lot of depth and a lot more meaning. And then I would have did Tommy and then this finale. But I would have made sure, for me, in Tommy's episode, in the finale, I should not have seen Dre at all, because Dre is dead. Now I know we are going back to a few days before Ghost got shot and leading up to like the day or two after in every episode. But for me, it would have been more powerful that when I saw Dre burn up in that cell, I never saw him again. I just think that would have been better. And then the same way, going into Tommy's episode being next, when I saw Tommy look up and almost be about to shoot the person that he saw shot Ghost and go stop him, that should go right to the finale, because at that moment we all knew it was Tariq. Because even if you hadn't thought that it was Tariq before then, you knew at that moment it was Tariq. Because had it been anybody else, had it been Tasha, he probably would have shot him, because you can't. Tommy was not going to let Tasha kill Lakeisha and Ghost and not do anything. And then everybody else definitely would have got shot. He would have shot everybody else without a doubt. So we knew at that moment it was Tariq. So to have Tate's episode in between that just didn't make sense to me. Now, I would say those were my biggest issues and concerns with the last 5 episodes, and they all kind of weave together. It was the order of the episodes, the characters that they focused on in some of them, and kind of that execution of the story by, I'm seeing Dre after I know Dre is dead in scenes, or I'm seeing Tommy in scenes when I know he's already gone to California, right? So that was kind of the downside to the way that they executed the story, by really talking about the same 3 or 4 days on the show over a span of, you have to include the season finale, the mid-season finale, because that was Ghost's side of those same days, and then these last 5 was telling it from other people. So then, I mean, of course there were some really good moments in this, right? I feel like Dre's episode was probably, I can't rate him, I don't know how I'm gonna rate him, but I feel like Dre's episode, Tommy's episode, and the season finale was like right up there together. They was up here in the tier as far as episodes of power in the last 3 seasons. They were at the top. I would say pauses was probably in the middle, because even though I don't care about her because we barely seen her, I kind of cared about tying up Angela's story. And so it was a little emotional, because pause was emotional. And then Tate's was like down here, out the frame. But I will say, so like back to Dre's episode, Rotimi did some good acting. Now, I don't agree with him going around after that talking about the greatest villain of our generation, greatest TV villain of our generation. He tried it with that, but he did some really good acting. And I hope going forward he don't get like typecasted like he has been, because everything else I've ever seen him in, he's like some type of gangster or hard boy. I hope he kind of allows himself to play some different characters if he's really going to pursue a career in acting. I know he's like trying to be a singer or something, but if he is going to pursue a career in acting, I hope he allows himself to do some different types of roles, because I feel like that episode showed that he could do that. I think Tommy's episode was great. Like, we cared about Tommy. Like, Tommy was Ghost's ride and die from the beginning of the show. So even though he's crazy, we wanted to see what happened to him. And so I like that. I think when you think about Tasha's episode, Tasha's and Tariq, I think that needed to be the final episode, regardless had Tariq been the one to kill Ghost or not, because I just think it all came back to his broken family, and they were his family. I just think the ending of, so let me get into the endings of all the characters, right? So Blanca and Sax, we don't really see how they life end, even though I think for me, I just don't understand how, like, that whole DA office and all of that is so corrupt, and I hope it ain't corrupt in real life like that, because the fact that Sax still got a job does not make sense to me. It don't make sense. I will say that Tate's ending, I didn't care what happened to him at the end, but go on, whatever you're gonna do, that spinoff that they got. Tasha got what she deserved. She has been kind of foul ways and like really like betraying the trust of people who really get into her, like from killing her best friend Keisha to I remember even from the first season, the thing I didn't like about her was that Ghost was trying to get out the game and be straight, and she didn't like it. And they talked about that in this final episode too. I'm like, she wanted him to just be the biggest drug dealer in New York. She never wanted better for him. And essentially, she's done the same thing with Tariq. Like, she don't. Well, I'll take that back. At the end, she told Tariq to go live his life. And hopefully that was like finally her change and her catalyst, because it didn't seem like she was still making the same type of mistakes and still choosing the same way. So hopefully that changes for her. So Dre deserved to die. He's been escaping death for like the last 3 seasons, like always some Houdini way out of dying. So I think, okay, he deserved to die. He was real foul one of those seasons. I think season 5 maybe, or season 4 when Ghost was locked up. He was like just straight foul. And then Tommy's ending, at first I think he was the ending I was a little bit most conflicted with, because before this season started, I was like, all these people either got to die or go to jail. And Tommy is really the only person that kind of got away, but in a sense, and you would think that this man killed Holly when she was pregnant with his baby. He killed his own daddy. Like, he killed Proctor. Cause like, and then he got Lisa Marie, like, almost like they made a truce. Like, he done killed her whole family, basically. Everybody that loves her. And so I was like, did Tommy deserve this little ending? But then I just think about the fact that he really had his family taken away with Keisha and Cash, so it's gonna be like, I would be interested to see what he goes on to do from here. Now you got these sequels and spin-offs that's coming up. I don't know how I feel about them, so I think the first one is Ghost, Book 2, Ghost. That's a weird name if Ghost is not going to be in it. I don't know if I would have chose that name. Maybe it's talking about how Tariq is going to become Ghost. But I know Mary J. Blige is in it and Method Man. That don't really excite me because I've never really thought Mary J. was a really good actress. Now I will say I have not seen Mudbound, the movie the role that she was getting nominated for like a couple of years ago, so I need to go back and watch that. But that don't really excite me, and I just was watching her in Umbrella Academy when I was trying to watch that miss, and I didn't like her there either. So that would be interesting. And Method Man, I don't know what I'm gonna like about the show, because even if it was about Tariq, I don't think I would want Tariq. I wouldn't care about Tariq to watch a show about him. So I don't know what this show is about. The prequel with Cannon, especially if 50 Cent's involved, hopefully he ain't on camera. Like, did I really care about Cannon? Was he interesting? I don't know. The Tate show, I think book 4, Influence. No. Do we care about Lorenz's Tate character? I know y'all like Lorenz Tate, but do we care about Councilman Tate as a character? I don't think so. I don't think I'll be watching that either. And then the only one I'm interested about is book 5, maybe Tommy, and seeing what's life for him like in California. But overall, I would say Power ended pretty well. And I will say I'm thoroughly surprised and I'm impressed, because the show to me had not been good for a while. and it will for like 3 seasons since season 3. And I would say it will come up and it'll have like 1 or 2 good episodes a season, maybe. And then, so for them to go out this strongly, I'm really impressed. I would love to know what y'all think about Power in the final seasons, the finale, who shot Ghost. Did you think that was going to be Tariq? Did you think it was going to be somebody else? Are y'all looking forward to the spinoffs? So yeah, that's my talk on the series finale of Power. It's a bit rich town, y'all.